Welcome back to this already, the final segment of The Price of Business. I tell you, it's been a lively, interesting program today. I like it when we cover all kinds of different areas. I'm going to talk a little bit about the growing it's Hispanic market from a marketing perspective, a business perspective. Obviously, us Houstonians are very cognizant of this situation because of the fact that, the city is now, I guess, 25 or 30% Hispanic, something like that. And it's one of the fastest growing populations in the United States. And so to be in business and to not be cognizant of it, shame on you. Craig Handley is our guest. Craig, before you introduce our topic, introduce us to your company.
So I'm the CEO and the founder of Listen Up Espanol. And we started the company 7 years ago. I've been actually in the marketing space for over 17 years. I remember when I started, I didn't have any gray hair, so nobody actually wanted to really work with me. But now I wish I had less.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it funny how you go from, man, you're really young to all of a sudden you're kind of old. There's not like a right age in between. I found that to be true. I at 51, I feel like I'm a young 51. People act like I'm a young 51, but nonetheless, I'm definitely not young anymore. And it happened almost overnight. I was always kind of the guy who looked too young, even in my mid 30s. It's like, what are you, 20 or something like that? All of a sudden, it ain't anymore. That problem's gone. But anyway, go right ahead.
It's funny, I'm getting off topic here real quick, but I was actually in Mexico. One of our promotions, we gave away 6 cars, last year to employees. We'd have a contest where every 2 months we gave away a car. And I was standing next to one of the employees, handing him the keys to the car, one of the ones who won. And I looked at that picture, and for the first time ever, I said, oh, my God, I'm old.
Okay, you and I both established we are old. We are chronologically challenged. But tell us a little bit about what's going on in there in the Hispanic market. Obviously, Houston's a place where I think people need to be really aware. And I'm always shocked by the fact that there's just such there's Hispanic business and then there's Anglo business. But I think a lot of Anglos are missing out of an opportunity.
Yeah, and this is what happened. We were consulting with all of our clients who were doing English business, and we had a successful business really helping people in the, market to the Anglo market. We were, working with them, helping them with call to actions, helping with marketing. And they were like, you guys are so good at this. Too bad there isn't a company that does this in Spanish. And it kind of happened over and over. And I was actually thinking, I had been responsible for helping people build call centers in the U.S. to market to the Anglo market, maybe a dozen call centers. And I was like, maybe we could open up a marketing company that marketed to Hispanics. My business partner, Tony, I said, stay with me here. He goes, well, we don't speak Spanish. We don't know anything about Spanish. We're Canadian. And I'm like, yeah, but it's an opportunity. It's an open market.
Right.
And so we said, well, all right, let's give it a try. And, we started with 20 little seats in, Hermosillo, Sonora. There were no other call centers there at the time. And we went in with our ideas and started to build it. And it wasn't, within 3 years, we were at 1,400 employees, 550 seats. We made Inc. 500 as the fastest growing private company in America. Number 27 overall and number 1 in the business products and services category with a 7,000% growth. And so obviously the market's pretty ripe, and so that's kind of, we've been in business for 7 years now, and 7 successful years.
Yeah. Okay. So are all your clients Hispanic businesses?
No, they're all. They're actually, we have very few. Maybe 10% of our clients are actually Hispanic businesses. They're all mostly big companies that market to the U.S. market, and they said, why don't we dub our show into Spanish, or why don't we shoot a Spanish show and advertise our products and services on stations that target Spanish-speaking consumers in the U.S. So that would be Univision or Telemundo or different stations like that. And we take probably, in the U.S., we're responsible for almost 80 to 90% of those phone calls when it comes to charity phone calls, charity donations, or direct response TV products and services. So like the NutriBullet or the Magic Oven or the Ab Doer. There's so many.
Yeah, and we won't even get into the gross ones. So tell me about how do you cultivate clients? How do you find them? How do you develop those relationships?
It's funny, we obviously, we do a little bit, with online marketing and things like that, but I would say that 99% of our clients have come from word of mouth. Because we knew the business really well, from our first client, our core value is delivering awesomeness. And so we've always gone above and beyond. We don't just take phone calls. We have taken time to really consult with clients as to what needs to happen on both the front end and the back end of their program in order to give them an optimization around their campaign. And so what's happened is we get a client and everybody, the media buyers who buy the media to the industry in itself, everybody recommends us as the go-to center.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't had to really do a lot of shopping because everybody who's in this business says you should work with Listen Up Espanol.
Yeah, you got to love it. Got to love it. Craig, I appreciate you being with us. We need to learn more about it. Unfortunately, we were unfair earlier in the program, giving some more time to some other guests, but I think we need to have a follow-up conversation. Can I get you to do that sometime?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
We just all we did was talk about our age. We didn't even talk
I know.
We
We only proved that we're old men, and the fact that we talk so long on it might make us worried about our mental faculties as well. But anyway, good to have you on. Craig Handley, he's with a company called Listen Up Espanol. You can find him online, listenupespanol.com. If you don't know how to spell that, I probably have to look twice. Hey, thanks so much for being with us. I apologize for how quickly the segment went, but you know what? I want to learn more about this, and I really want to help teach. I'd love for you to come on and talk a little bit about what mid-size entrepreneurs can do to penetrate this market.
Yeah, it's an awesome market, and we've got psychographic data and demographic data, and it's funny because the population of Hispanics doesn't necessarily add up to where the best marketing opportunities are.
There you go. Craig Handley, you're going to have to address that next time you're on the program. Craig Handley, again.
It's my teaser.
There you go. You are such a teaser, man. All right, Craig Handley, Listen Up Espanol. I'm Kevin Price. Have a great rest of your day. Make sure you spend it right here on this great station.